everybody. Welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Charlestown Board of Public Works. Today's April 5th, 2023, and it's 9 a.m. We'll begin our meeting as is our custom. If everyone will please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We'll have our roll call and determine that we have a quorum. Arnie Thompson. Here. Glenn Mosier. Here. Mayor Hodges is present, as well as Clerk Treasurer Donna Coomer and our attorney Perry McCall. You've been provided a copy of the agenda. I do need to make an edit to the agenda and add item E under new business. This is a survey for the depot a contract for Hart's Surveying and Engineering for the depot concept. So with that item added, I would entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Ernie Thompson.
And I will second that.
Second by Glenn Mosier. Any questions? Additional edits? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's approved unanimously. We have our standing business before us, which is the approval or correction of our prior meeting minutes for March 15th, our current claims and our payroll allowance docket from March 6th to March 26th. Entertain a motion to approve.
I will make a motion.
I have a motion by Glenn Mosier,
I'll second that motion.
second by Ernie Thompson. Any edits or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Moving down to our public comment period. Do we have anyone here to make public comment today?
Regarding,
Okay, come forward, state your name and address.
thank you for letting me be here.
Good
I'm
morning.
John Croucher, and my address is 7115 Bethany Road, Charlestown, Indiana. And I'm here in regards to my property that I have here in the city at 835 Park Street. And I got an issue that was created under the previous administration when they installed sidewalks along Park Street on the north side. They put an about 800 feet of sidewalk, and they put a drainage swell, and they're funneling all that water into my parking lot. And prior to the sidewalk being built, I spoke with Henderson Construction about that potential problem, and they were wanting to put a drainage grate in the sidewalk to redirect the water. Of course, the previous administration didn't like me on my political agenda and straight up said no. And then following that, we got a new mayor. You guys had a meeting in March, I believe, of 2020 regarding flooding, and I pointed out the issue there, and I spoke with the mayor the other day about it, and I'm going to show up here tonight and bring it to everyone's attention. That's still an issue. So I'd like to reach some kind of mutual plan or agreement of what we can do to redirect the water off of my property and into my building. I spoke with Tubby or Alan the other day, and I obviously wasn't the correct person to speak with. But the sidewalk ends at my parking lot, and which is public easement, and then it goes, and then after my parking lot, there's a few more feet of sidewalk, and it just goes to gravel. There's a drainage basin there, but none of the water that goes through and off the street even goes to that drainage basin. It just continues on down the street or into the Gregory property. So, I know Treva, the mayor, and you guys had that meeting with the engineers regarding flooding in the city. I don't know if that has ever was addressed at that time. Do you know if it was? My issue that I pointed out.
I can follow up with the engineers to see where we did a prioritized list based off of things that were the most emergent. And so some of those extremely emergent issues where there was public safety at play were dealt with.
Okay.
I can find out where your issue, if you attended that meeting, was placed on that priority list.
All right. One of the issues right now is with the water. The water stands for days afterwards. It's not just a matter of it's raining. It's perking underneath of my blacktop. In the winter, it's freezing. It's breaking up my driveway. It runs over the parking lot in the colder weather. It leaves an ice sheet on there, which is dangerous to my customers. I can't throw ice or melt on it. I can't shovel it off. It's so hard. So that creates a safety issue on my parking lot, and then plus it's infiltrating around the building, and it's just not good for the structure of the building, so it is a problem.
Mr. Croucher, how long has your building been there?
I think 1918.
And when did you begin to have these problems running into your driveway, into your property?
The water was coming down off the hillside there on the Gregory property, and then it was coming down to the building, and some was coming in the parking lot, of course, off the street. But then it was going around the building into the Gregory property, and then when they built the sidewalk there, created a drainage swell that goes all the way to the entrance of the high school parking lot. So all that water off the street now is running into that drainage swell and right into my parking lot.
I want to make sure that I'm accurately summarizing the issue that you're having. So you've always received water from
Yeah, of course,
uphill into
because it
your
runs, because the
property,
street is higher than the parking
Sure.
lot, so water runs off.
but you
But now I
feel like
gotta-
it's gotten worse or has changed direction since the sidewalks were installed in that
Yeah,
area.
Definitely, a massive amount, and then even after it rains, it's still moisture in the soil is perking down through there actually today, there's still water in the parking lot in puddles, and it hasn't rained in several days.
We have engineers on staff on work orders, so I'll follow up with them about your issue and have that assessed for you
Yeah.
from one of our engineers.
Have somebody, I don't know if you have my phone number or not.
If you want to, I'm not asking you to give your phone number in a public
Oh, I don't
meeting,
care.
but if you want
Yeah.
to give it to me after emailing me, you certainly can.
Okay, yeah, and then we can do a walk around and look
Sure.
at what's going on over there.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
all right,
Thank you.
thank you.
So is this the second situation that's been brought to us?
What do you mean?
The water, exactly what he said. This is not, this is second to what we had, a gentleman that came a
Yes,
couple months
separate.
ago.
Mhm, separate. It's a common, we're having a very rainy season on top of
Yeah,
everything
right.
else. So typically, the way that we handle questions that arise about drainage or whose responsibility they are, we will have our team, our engineers go out and assess, we try to get it on a rainy day, which we have today, so that's not a bad thing.
Easy.
So we try to make sure that we get out and assess it. Sometimes it ends up being the property owner's responsibility. Anything from landscaping changes that they made, if they move the dirt on their property, it
Yeah.
could change the flow of the
Sure.
land. And so if there's an easement, that comes into play, the question, what buildings have gone in next to it, or any kind of change or whatever. And so we usually try to make sure we're providing a comprehensive review. And oftentimes, we have to explain to the homeowner or the property owner that it's not the city's liability to correct those problems, but we try to make sure we have it assessed at that time before then. So what Mr. Croucher has brought to us will be assessed, because it sounds like
Okay.
he's had runoff, but then it's saying that the sidewalk installation might have changed the direction of that water. And I'll make sure that our team gets out there and looks at that and sees what can be done, and what's the city, we're not gonna be able to go onto private property to install lines or those kinds of things. We would have to make sure that what we're doing is within our property and our rights, right?
Well, I kind of wondered if the citizens know the, well, I don't like this expression, but it says it. Do they know the chain of command from their problem? Or are they always gonna have to wait till twice a month to come here?
Oh, no, they don't have to come here. Mr. Croucher has chosen to come here today, to make
Okay.
public comment on this, but, as he said, he had already brought this issue to me
Okay, all
and
right.
had raised it,
Okay.
and I had sent a staff member out to take an initial look at it. But it sounds like he's unsatisfied with that answer. I
Well,
would like to
okay,
have a little
yeah,
bit
at
more,
least-
review of
Yeah.
the problem, so we will do that.
Can I add something to what you just said? The issue is not just the city, it's my property also. We, the city and myself, need to address the problem and come up with a way that we can redirect the water that meets the proper federal government guidelines for water drainage, my property rights, what I need to do remediation on my property, that's my cost. What the city needs to do, that will be the city's cost. I can't just go in there and start digging up the blacktop, plant grass there and say, well, now you guys gotta rebuild a new sidewalk.
Sure.
You can't do that, and the city can't just come in and
Right.
build a sidewalk without taking into consideration potential property damage
Right.
that they've caused in the future. And as I said, I preference that the previous administration did not like me at all.
Well, we're not,
And, yeah, okay.
I don't wanna make
Yeah,
assumptions
so we don't,
about
we
those
don't
kinds
wanna
of
go
things.
there, but we wanna work on the problem, we wanna find a solution.
The important thing is that, I hear what you're saying about some of it may be
Right.
work that you can do, and some of it may be
Correct.
stuff that the
Correct.
city can do, and we will take a comprehensive look at the property through engineering and get a solution for
That's
you.
why
I
I wanna
don't,
work with you guys to come up with a plan that will prevent any future continued property damage.
Sure. okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crouch.
Thank
Okay, at this time, we get to do another fun thing, and, as you know, we like to recognize, folks that do outstanding things in the community, and we've done that sometimes with volunteers or other groups, and we have a special recognition today. Dave Spear and some family members, looks like Bobby Joe and Dave Jr. are here, along with him, are here today, and we want to publicly recognize and have it placed in our official minutes, that they have been in business with Copper Kettle Restaurant for 20 years. And I asked Donna Coomer if she wanted to speak, because of course she has been our clerk treasurer for longer than that, and has a long time relationship as well with the Spear family, so.
Well, I just want to personally say thank you. Thank you for your passion that you all have for our community and your support. Your restaurant's been here a long time. You've been through COVID and hung in there, and we appreciate everything. You got great food, excellent service. I enjoy going in there. Everybody's always so friendly, make you feel welcome, and I can't say enough. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And I hope you stay around for another 20 years.
Absolutely.
We plan to.
And Dave, thanks for stepping up, and Dave Jr. and being there, and Bobby Joe, you're just
Hanging in there.
about you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I personally love you guys.
Thank you.
March 24th, 2003 to March 24th, 2023. And you've become one of, if not the longest running restaurants in the city of Charlestown.
Independently
Yes,
owned.
independently owned. Your menu says you took a hole in the wall and turned it into a great place, and I agree with Donna. It is truly, literally the place where everybody knows your name. And it feels like when you eat a Copper Kettle that you're just having Sunday dinner at home. And we value you. We are excited, obviously, about, we often celebrate ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings of some of the new businesses that are coming into town, but it's equally important, even more so, to acknowledge those businesses that have been with us and are persistently with us in such a public way. So thank you. I have a certificate for you. If you'll come forward, I'll give you
I
that.
don't wanna take away from him, but March of 2020, or this year was our 20 years of owning the laundry also.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good.
So I have a certificate for you. You guys wanna come up and
Thank
got
you.
challenge
Yeah.
coins
Come
for
on, come on.
each of you. So these are City of Charlestown challenge coins. Thank you. Glad y'all got out of the kitchen for just a minute.
Yeah.
Donna, you guys wanna come down and get a picture?
I do.
Absolutely.
I want to stand right next to him.
Ah, beautiful.
Come on up here.
Only one looks any older than Ernie.
Board member,
Ernie is definitely older.
let me grab
Good
your board
enough.
member real quick. Arnie, you wanna come down and stand? Come on, Arnie, you won't have the camera. He's like, oh, do I have to
Wait
move?
for camera. I'm staying on the end.
You wanna
I just
stand
won't
on
be
the end?
oldest.
Yeah. Yeah, Toby, grab your coffee cup. It's in the shot. There we
In
go.
there?
You in here?
Get my skinny side.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for everything you do. We
Thank
love
you all.
you. We love you so much.
Thank you.
Good food. Good times. Thank y'all.
I'll be camping in Star Pop this weekend, and I guarantee you, every day, it's pretty close.
This is last week, I was 3 straight
Every time
days
somebody says,
up
"We're going to
there.
Charles."
I know Dorothy has wanted us to go have a different day.
Every time somebody says,
Thank you guys.
Mosquitoes here every day.
Yep.
Hey,
congratulations. Back to work, dude.
we got a business to take care of.
I know you do. I know you do. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Dave.
Probably be there for lunch later. All right, so now back to the business at hand. Thank you all so much for indulging and recognizing another successful business in the city. We have no old business before us. Moving on to new business. First off, we have the Quality Court easement. This is a drainage and general utility easement agreement. The Quality Court project is being done through the Redevelopment Commission. This is where they're expanding Quality Court into Shadow Lake Business Park. It's being done by Build, Operate, Transfer agreement with the Shadow Lake group. And essentially, this is an easement for utility with the Greater Clark School Corporation. They are working to improve the drainage issue there for the school, and make sure that any construction out there that they do doesn't create more of a problem. Drainage is always first and foremost. So we need, as the Board of Public Works is the one who usually issues these kinds of easements, even though the project itself is being done through the Redevelopment Commission. So I would need a motion to approve the drainage and general utility easement agreement that will allow that work to continue.
I'll make that
I have a motion from Ernie Thompson,
And I will second that motion.
second by Glenn Mosher. Perry, did you have anything you needed to add on that?
No,
You good?
yeah, it was good.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
motion.
Aye. Any opposed? That's passed unanimously. And I'll call forward Marissa Canova, our Parks Director. She has some parks equipment, a couple different parks equipment items that we need to do. These are replacement and new picnic tables. And we've got asphalt goals.
Yeah,
All of them.
we're gonna do it.
So, back in January, Carrie and I went out to all of the different parks and kind of did a quick assessment of what do we need to update, what is kind of broken, what needs to go ahead and get replaced. And one of the things that we identified were some picnic tables that were both at Danbury Oaks' park and then also at Ben Bertram Park as well. The good news is we already had some picnic tables already in stock and ready to go, so we will place those at one particular park. Bad news is we needed 6 and only had 3. So the good news is that we went through and reached out and did a couple different quotes to see A, timeline, when could we get them in, and then B, what came out to be the lowest price. The lowest price we found was the Parks and Facility catalog. We have done business before with them, so everything should be squared away. For 3 picnic tables, it ended up being $2,805 with the shipping cost. Ends up being $3,154. These are ADA compliance picnic benches. So as we start to move forward, we make sure that all picnic benches within the whole park system does meet those requirements. Once I sign the contract and say that the agreement's good, we should have them in within 2 to 3 weeks. So they should be pretty quick turnaround. So this money would be pulled out of our quality of life fund. So it's a separate fund from the Parks Department. There's $30,000 in there, so they were spending most of it today just to get through some of the stuff. So I'm just asking the board to approve that price so that I could go ahead and sign off and get this stuff in.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to approve the purchase of 3 Everest Series 8-foot heavy-duty ADA picnic tables to replace the damaged picnic tables at our parks in the amount of $3,154 from the Park and Facilities catalog.
I will make that motion.
I have a motion by Glenn Mosher,
I'll second that motion.
second by Ernie Thompson. Questions from us on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous. And then you had another equipment purchase?
Yeah, so I have the, the quote here in front of me, and I will give you all a copy of it, so. So one of the other things that we also did during January, and then also going back to last year's Free Spot Friday events, is when we met with the neighborhoods and specifically the kids, we'd ask them, hey, we have these pickleball courts that aren't set up yet, they don't have netting in them. Would you rather have a pickleball court or would you rather have a basketball goal? And the overall response being Indiana was that they would like to have a basketball goal. So we have reached out to, the staff and I argue over how you pronounce it, Agape.
It's a topic.
Yeah, I knew I was right on that one. We reached out to our local friends at Agape Pool and Outdoor Escapes, and they have given us a quote at $2,949 per basketball goal, which would be a total of $8,847. This would include also installation, so our crews will not have to go out there. Agape will take care of all of that. The 3 areas that we are determining would be Ashley Springs, which I believe is on our thing for today to go ahead and get that basketball court filled out. Danbury Oaks again, and then also Saddleback. And both parks, both groups, all the kids were like, heck yeah, we'd love to have a basketball court, so I do think that it will get used a lot, and it doesn't take away from our pickleball count, so the pickleball people can still play their respected sport as well.
So to be clear, this would be the purchase of 3 goals with the anticipation that I also have for the board to consider the installation of a basketball court at the Ashley Springs Park, where they already have pickleball, so we're not taking away that pickleball court, we're just adding a basketball court there at Ashley
Yes.
Springs.
Yes.
And then the parks at Danbury Oaks / Lakeview Highview and Saddleback
Saddleback,
have installed pickleball courts, but the nets were never installed.
for another foot.
And community feedback sessions have overwhelmingly indicated that they would rather have a basketball goal on those pads to play. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I would need a motion to approve the purchase and the install of 3 basketball goals from Agape Pools in the amount of $8,847.
Do you have the money for this?
Yes, so it would come out of the quality of life.
Same fund.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion for Ernie Thompson,
And I will definitely second.
seconded by Glenn Mosier. Any additional questions from us on that? What's the installation time? I mean, obviously, we gotta build one of the courts, but how quickly can they get them in?
They said that as soon as we get everything signed over, they'll go ahead and put us on the schedule, so I can't imagine that. Obviously, Ashley Springs will be a little bit later down the road just due to the completion of the basketball court.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous, thank you. The next item on the list goes with this, that's the Ashley Springs basketball court. So Ashley Springs Park, when it was installed, they did not put a basketball court at the park. And in one of our listening sessions out there at the playground this past summer, that was brought up. And so when we asked the parents and children who were in attendance, how can we enhance your park? What do you want to see? They said, well, we really want to play basketball. And so we started, and the sunshades were also mentioned, and we've looked at both. So to be clear, the sunshades are presenting a significant problem in delay of receipt. So even if we ordered the sunshade yesterday, or even last month, it still wouldn't be here because of shipping delays until they were saying possibly October, which is kind of after the season. So we're handling that a little bit differently. But one of the things that became more pressing was the need for a basketball court of some size in the land that is still available at that park. Because Ashley Spring in this area has a homeowners association, and recently the homeowners association voted to disallow portable basketball goals in the driveways. So this has significantly affected several of the families that have been using those portable goals. And so the need has become greater. I sent our team, Tubby, and our one of our concrete guys, Brandon, out to take a look at the site. Tony also has gone out, measured, figured out where and how big. And I believe this will be is this a half court, Tony?
Yeah, it's a 40 by 50 that allows for the 3-point.
Right, so it will allow for the 3-point line, and
Yeah.
they'll paint it accordingly. And so we have 3 quotes on just the form and pour. So our industry can do the excavation. Obviously, no extra charge. We have the equipment and do the excavation. But with a project this size, we could get quotes on the form and pour from Southern Concrete in the amount of $6,200. From Taylor's Custom Concrete LLC, $6,680, and from Sprigler Concrete in the amount of $7,700. So it's staff recommendation that we go with Southern Concrete in the amount of $6,200. And this would be taken from that quality of life fund that Marissa mentioned. I verified with our clerk treasurer staff that there's still residual funds in that fund. So I would need a motion to approve the Southern Concrete bid in the amount of $6,200. have a motion from Ernie Thompson,
And I will second that motion.
seconded by Glenn Mosher. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously, so we'll get, our team working on the excavation and coordinate that project. And then Marissa, I believe you were back up for some bounce house contracts.
So in front of me, I have 3 different contracts for Fund Masters, which is our bounce houses and water slides rental company that we use. So the first one would be May the 27th from 1 to 5. That is our opening day at the Family Activities Park. So we thought about just adding kind of a fun element. So we have a 15-foot inflatable water slide as well as a ribbon tied slip-and slide that we'd like to bring to the park just to kind of add a little bit of extra fun since it's opening day. That total ends up being $475. There is a $40 fee to just help cover their tolls back and forth because they are a local Kentucky organization. So the total would be $515. If you do look, there is a deposit due. We have talked to the company and they are aware of our state work accounts, so they will just take the payment the day of the event. So we have covered that with them. They are insured, so we do have a copy of their insurance as well as their W-2 to help with those requirements as well. So they come highly recommended. I've reached out to a couple of our different parks directors around the area, and several other parks departments here use them, so they do come with a good reputation as well.
And I'm looking at their insurance, and it does meet the $1 million, and then the general aggregate products of $2 million liability level. You said that they also staff this themselves, so that doesn't.
This one, they do not have
They do not.
staffing.
Okay.
The other 2 contracts do. That particular day, with it being Memorial Weekend,
Oh, okay.
they're just out of staffing, but
And I think you can go ahead and do all the dates. We
Okay.
can approve in one motion.
Yeah.
I think we've got several.
the next
events.
one would be for June the 23rd from 5 to 9. That will be during our family fun night during Founders Week. So that total ends up being $575. You'll see that the fee is $200, but that does include both their staffing and tolls. So the good news about this company is that they provide their own staffing at an additional extra charge, but it's just $20. And it's well worth it just because I love my kids, but nobody likes to manage those bounce houses. So if we can let the experts do their thing, they can do that. And then the last one is for September 16th from 2 to 7, and that total ends up being $815 after fee and staffing as well. That is during our community day service days. It went really well last year. It just kind of gives the kids something to do, especially during the day when moms and dads and everybody's kind of walking around the vendors. It kind of gives the kids something extra and fun to do at community day.
So in my packet, Marissa, I have a 4th one, and I'm guessing it's for the day of Founders Day out of the actual balloon globe. It's on 6/24 from 5 to 9. So you've got the one for the family activity night, and then I also have one from 6/24 from 5 to 9 with a total amount of $775. So do you want all 4?
I don't have that. I don't know. I guess I just didn't print it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same company, same stuff. So funding for this, for the September event and for the June event comes from largely the sponsorships that we receive for those events. So the cost of those events is covered in the sponsorships that we receive for those events. And then the funding for the one for family activity night comes from what
Yeah,
your summer
it'll come out
entertainment.
of our summer
Summer
entertainment fund, so.
So, and I do have the certificate of liability insurance and the W-9. Donna, did you have any questions about those items?
Thanks, Melissa.
Okay, so, we would need a motion then to approve the 4 dates for Fundmasters, Bounce House with the amounts being $515 for the May 27th event, $775 for the June 23rd event, $775 for the June 24th event, and $815 for the September 16th event.
So we're doing a package. Okay, I make a motion that we approve these.
I have a motion by Glenn Mosher,
I'll second that one.
second by Ernie Thompson. Any additional questions from Marissa?
Thank you, Marissa.
All in favor, say aye. It's unanimous, thank you. I actually kind of like that they're going to provide staffing for that, because I know that that's sometimes an issue for our our staff and volunteers, these kids can get a little wild in these bounce houses. And then nobody wants to be the one to say, hey, you gotta come out, so it's kinda nice to have that covered. And then the item that I added, so this one's gonna require just a little bit of a, explanation, so, I will email out this this packet to, or the design to the board members for you to see. It was kind of giving me grief when I was trying to print an extra copy. The redevelopment commission last night approved $250,000 investment, that they will fund through, TIF revenues to expand the family activity park. And this is an expansion that's been discussed really back to August. It kind of feeds from our Parks Master Plan that we did, was how do we engage preteens and teens and young adults in ways that we do not currently engage them. We had public listening sessions to talk about parks programming. What do we do? How do we build it? And we had it at the Family Activity Center in August of last year. And so the idea started to kind of generate from there that we really need something for that age group that targets that age group. And so the follow-up to that was Marissa and I actually went to the high school to talk directly to that age group. We met with the several media classes over there, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. A couple times we also reached out through our legislative youth advisor that works with the council to the honors students to seek feedback on, if we're going to expand the park, what types of activities do you want to see? After we talked them down from go-kart racing, they began to focus on just an overall hangout space where they can gather, use Wi-Fi, smoothies, coffee bar, kind of like they equated it to Union Game Yard down in Jeffersonville, the restaurant, with maybe later stages including a mini soccer pitch, because there's a growing interest in soccer, and then sand volleyball. Because they have basketball places in other locations. That was not an interim, specifically asked that question there for that. And so the redevelopment commission engaged HWC Engineering to do a design plan for this. Once they had the initial design, the park staff and I went back to those same students in those classes and showed them the design and got additional feedback from them about what they thought was right on with what they said. Tweets, we discussed what the revenue or what the admission rate would be with the students. So it's really been largely student led. They were really involved. This is out of Melissa Stewart's media class and the honor students to kind of lead this and think through the logistics of what would they pay to get into a space, how often would they use it. They were particularly excited about having a space to go that is properly supervised and safe after ball games to hang out, or before ball games to tailgate. And then several of the students were also very excited about the idea of being able to rent out this type of facility for graduation parties, birthday parties, and go-kart racing, those kinds of things. So last night the redevelopment commission unanimously moved that forward and has authorized that amount. But they also authorized the Board of Public Works to be the agency, since we meet more regularly and it's a city property, to manage the bids that will be going out with the component parts of building this addition. So everything from the concrete work to the turf, and the ancillary structures and everything that will be going on. So the first step of that is getting the actual schematic laid out so we can submit those contracts for the concrete work and bids. We have an on-call agreement with Hart's Surveying Engineering, and so what you have before you is just a feature of that on-call agreement by which he would do that site design for us. He's listed his hourly rates. He's already kind of jumped and started looking at the plan. He doesn't think that it will take him very long at all to get this out, and thinks that we'll have it by Monday so that we can begin to seek those bids. We have a tentative targeted completion date, if weather cooperates, to coincide with the family night for June 23rd, to be able to do the ribbon cutting and opening for this. But we're realistic and we understand the weather can happen, so if that date doesn't happen, we would anticipate being able to open it in time for our backpack giveaway in July 15th. And because we're super realistic about weather delays, we said maybe as a last ditch effort, if something happens and those dates don't materialize, it might be nice to do it Labor Day weekend where we're kind of officially shutting down the water park part of it and opening this feature for people to have that hangout space. So What I'm asking you to do is authorize Hart Survey Engineering to move forward under that general on-call to do that site design. I have a motion from Ernie Thompson
And I will second that.
and a second from Glenn Mosier. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
I-
All right, that's unanimous, we'll get him moving on that and get that done. So I will, send the board the packet that the redevelopment commission also looked at, as well as the memo that I had, given them last night. But basically, all the claims will be going through that board to pay. We just get to do the fun work of finding all of the bids and working through that process, so, thank you so much. If there's any other matters, Perry, for us, any updates from you? Donna, do you need anything else from us?
thank you.
All right, hearing that, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion.
Motion by Ernie Thompson,
I'll second that.
second by Glenn Mosier, all in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned, thank you.